Okay, this video we are talking about a little stove set that I got, which is the Phantom Ultralight stove by Polymath Products, which is a British company. Check out their website. I'll leave links and everything like that in the description. Might put some weights and stuff like that and the proper price on there, but just to show you very quickly, you get this little stand which weighs nothing. That's just a lighter that I bought to leave in there with it. You get this really lightweight fold up windshield, which just folds out. It's a little bit stuck together because it's still got some of the grease from the manufacturing on it, but that's because it's brand new and I haven't actually even field tested it yet. I'm gonna put a pot of water on there and boil it up for you, just to show you it actually working. But this is just in the garden. I haven't actually been out and field tested this yet. This is all part of me putting together a little, kind of a little bug out system, a little one-man solo camp set of gear for myself when I do my solo camps. Now you get actually two parts, because they say that this lid is for gel fuel. If you want to have a simple gel stove, you can just put that on there, put some of the gel in it. I've never used the gel, and from what I've seen from other people, the gel seems to not burn very hot, so I probably won't even bother with that. Then you get this, it's like a little Vaseline tub, a bit bigger than an average Vaseline tub, but it's got this carbon felt kind of stuff on it. You pop that in there. This is methylated spirits, got bagged up and bottled up. You just pour some of that on the carbon felt, light it, and you're ready to go. Wicked little system. For $12.99 delivered. I mean, pretty incredible nowadays to get anything for that kind of price. It's all very, very lightweight, easily dented and damaged, but even if it does get dented and damaged, it's not going to affect the performance of it really. I can't see it getting broken that much that it won't work anymore, and it's just going to get a few knocks and scratches and dents, but so what, right? The windshield, same thing. It might get scratched up, it might get a little bit bent and distorted where I've got it in the pouch against the bottle and stuff like that, but it doesn't really affect it. These are little pegs to go in the ground to stop it from blowing around too much. I'll show you all that in a minute anyway. Obviously, like you saw before, the stand just literally slides apart into two pieces and goes really flat, and it comes with this little pouch, which I don't know, it'll work for a while. It'll probably split eventually. It's a little bonus. I'll slip that in there like that if you need to. This is not the pouch it comes with. This is actually a pouch that I've just added to it, because the pouch that it comes with is a bit thin and get rid of that. It's a bit thin and yeah, just not very good basically. It's more of a bonus, but for $12.99 you can't complain about that, so I've just added this to it. So you won't get that grey pouch, you'll get like a black plasticky pouch. You can also order this at the moment off of Amazon, and it's the same price, free delivery if you've got Prime. Okay, so I've just got a little tray of soil so I can properly show you how it would work on a more natural ground. You still have to find something fairly flat. But these little bits here push down into the soil just to give you, that one doesn't go down much, but just enough to stop it from falling over. Take the stove out of the packet. The lid doesn't screw on, it just pops like that. You can put that underneath if you want. Let's do that. Get the little stand. Put that in there. Put that on top. Get our water vessel ready. There should be 500 ml of water there. So I've measured that out. Stick the lid on so we don't get a load of crap inside it. Now this is about 100 ml. So a bit more. What do you reckon? It's less than half. Maybe a quarter, maybe about 25 ml. Something like that. It's just methylated spirits, so it's basically just alcohol. We'll make sure it's all level and flat and secure and everything before we do anything. And then we'll just light it. There we go. And then we'll put our pot on. Just adjust it a little bit. You do have to be a little bit careful because the flames, as you can see, come up around the edges of the pot. So if you're adjusting it, trying to grab the handle, things like that, the flames can lick up around the side. It's not going to really just burn you, just a little lick of flame, but if you're picking it up, you better be careful. I sort of rushed out here today to try and get this today because it's so windy. I am in the garden, so you know, there's places where it could be worse, but there are places where it could be better too. If you was in the forest, obviously the wind would affect it less. You can see the flames being blown around a bit still, even with the windshield there, but it's not blowing it out. This is a titanium pot I'm using. Titanium doesn't conduct heat very well, and it cools down very quickly. So yeah, I don't know if that will make it take so much longer or what than stainless steel. Starting to get a few bubbles at the bottom now, and it's been about 6 minutes. Getting some nice sort of simmery bubbles in there and the smoke's coming off, but it's not a rolling boil still yet. It's taking longer than I expected. We're now on about just over 11 minutes. But there is, as you can probably hear, really strong wind. I think there was one more video where I'd done it in about 7 minutes. So it's really going to depend on the pot you're using and the conditions, I guess. I think it's coming. I think I might have actually run out of steam here. I think it might be running out. Maybe I didn't put quite enough in. But it has been now 14 minutes. And it's still not boiling. Okay, it has actually gone out. And it never really boiled. This pot's done well, although it's very hot, the handles have stayed cool. I'm going to put a bit more in there. Real world tests, eh? They can end up very different to the ones that you see on YouTube. I can't see that I've actually done anything particularly wrong. There we go, it's lit again. Put this back on there again, and we're back in action. But this has taken, so far, almost 17 minutes and a refuel, and it's still not boiling. Before anyone says it, it doesn't matter if you've got the lid on or off. The water will boil in the same time. The lid is just so you don't end up with evaporation, losing your water. I think we're finally just about there, guys. There's actually, yeah, here we go. There's bubbles on the surface. We're finally at a pretty much a rolling boil. Bear in mind it's now gone 20 minutes for me to get to this point. So 25 ml roughly of fuel, it ran out. I had to start it again. Next time I'll just put maybe 50 ml, which is probably what's gone in there in the end. Maybe that's what you need, and that would have made it a bit quicker. But certainly you're not getting boiling water in, you know, 7 minutes or anything close to that in windy, colder conditions. So I'm just going to let this completely burn out. Still burning fairly well at the moment, although you can see the boil has calmed down a little bit, so maybe it's starting to calm down now. 26 minutes since we started the experiment, and like I said, probably about 50-60 ml of fuel, with that little break in between where it went out and I had to relight it. So it's really starting to burn out now. The flames are dying down. And personally, I'd be a little bit concerned taking this out as my only stove at the moment. I know I could get a boil out of it, but taking a little bottle like this, it's going to be a bit of a risk to try and get 2 boils out of it, isn't it? So how much fuel do you actually need for this? I appreciate it's a windy day, but that's kind of the whole point in it. So I'm not saying it's bad, I just don't really know at the moment. Maybe if I never had to stop and I put enough fuel in it in the first place, maybe I could have got a boil in 10-12 minutes. I appreciate it's not exactly a very controlled experiment, but just gives you an idea of when you're out in the field, it's not going to be a controlled experiment. It's going to be you trying to get things done in sometimes less than perfect conditions. That has literally just gone out. So let's say 28 minutes. This is a 90 ml tube, so it must have been about 50 ml, maybe a bit less. So it's lasted quite a long time, to be fair. Just leaving it a couple of minutes, see how hot this is. They're not burning hot. They're warm, but they're not burning hot. I'm not going to risk touching the actual stove just yet. Where am I? Not that bad actually. I don't want to pick it up. I'm going to leave it a couple more minutes, but it's not that bad. Wow, that has cooled down really quick. Very, very quick. So that's a real big bonus. Like I say, it is a little bit cold and windy, so that helps it cool down. But that's cool. The windshield is cool. And where is it? The stand is cool. So it all cools down really quickly. So conclusions to this: very, very, very lightweight, ultra lightweight, as they say. Really good little idea. You will get a boil out of it. Maybe I'll have to do another test and get back to you. I thought I read somewhere that you only need 25 ml of fuel to get a boil, and having looked again, I can't really find that. So I think that was my own fault at the beginning for just not putting enough fuel in there. So can't really blame that on the stove. I would predict you might get a boil out of about 10-12 minutes or something if you put enough fuel in there, but I guess I'll just have to test that again another day. Anyway, at least it gives you a little look at it. It is a very cool little product, and I really want to finish by saying I like to talk about customer service with brands as well, not just about the product. First one I got, this little bit here that holds this pin in was actually missing, and there was a bit of sharp metal. So I sent an email to Polymath, bearing in mind this is only a $12.99 product, and they just apologised and sent me out one straight away, and it came the next day. They sent me a new windshield, and it actually came with a new pot stand with it as well. So customer service wise, absolutely brilliant. So if you are after a lightweight stove, this is nothing comparable to, you know, like a jet boil or something like that. It's a totally different thing. Those things are like rockets, but they're a bit heavier and you know, require gas cartridges. Whereas with this, potentially about 100 ml of fuel, you might get 2 boils out of it. Or you could take a bigger bottle and not have to worry about fuel. So there you go, Polymath Products Phantom Ultralight Stove. Check it out.